Welcome to CCN Midday News. I am your host, Captivating Christian, and here are some of your top stories for today, April 2nd. Trump administration revoked tribes' reservation status in power grab. That's a nasty, snarky question. The Trump media assault rages on in the midst of a coronavirus crisis. Blaming failure on impeachment is admission. Trump and McConnell cannot handle the job, says Nancy Pelosi. And Barack Obama takes a rare public swipe at Donald Trump over the coronavirus response. Black, Asian, and Hispanic House caucus chairs unite in no tolerance for coronavirus racism. And why is the coronavirus killing more black people in Milwaukee than all of Wisconsin? For vulnerable black communities, the pandemic is a crisis on top of a crisis. Let's get to the news. A tribe is losing reservation status for more than 300 acres in Massachusetts, raising fears among Native American groups that other tribes could face the same fate under the Trump administration. The Maspinawong tribe, which traces its ancestry to the Native Americans that shared a fall harvest meal with the Pilgrims in 1621, was notified late on Friday by the Federal Bureau of Indian Affairs that it will be rescinding its reservation designation and removing the land from federal trust, according to Cedric Conwell, the tribe's chairman. He said the move is cruel and unnecessary, as the tribes and others across the nation are struggling to respond to the coronavirus pandemic within their sovereign lands. The decision, if allowed to stand, will destroy much of what the tribe has worked hard to build in recent years in its sovereign lands. Conwell said that it includes establishing an independent judicial system, as well as police force and a language school, as well as beginning construction on a roughly 50-unit tribal housing development and breaking ground on a $1 billion resort and casino. As reporters awaited languidly in the plastic chairs a few feet apart, absorbing bird songs and soft spring sunshine, the Rose Garden was an oasis of calm in a stricken nation. But once Donald Trump began taking questions, the tranquility was shattered. Yamiche Alcindor of the PBS NewsHour put the U.S. president's own words to him. You've said repeatedly that you think that some of the equipment that governors are requesting they don't actually need. You said New York might need. Trump interrupted twice and said, I did not say that. Alcindor stood her ground. You said that on Sean Hannity, Fox News. Then Trump lied and said, I didn't say that. Come on, come on. And so it went on last Sunday. Trump denied Alcindor a second question, only for CNN reporter to pass the mic back to her later, when the CNN reporter also quoted Trump's past last remarks. The president restored an old edifice of fake news. America and the world have been transformed unimaginably by the coronavirus pandemic, but Trump's war on the media has remained a constant and possibly even intensified. The outburst might be interrupted as signs of leader cracking under pressure of his great crisis, for which his previous career offered no preparation. But they are also striking in their ego as authoritarianism, while Trump has visibly delighted in flaunting questions from the right-wing One American News Network. He has also implied that dissenting questions from other reporters signal disloyalty when the nation should be pulling together. Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, Democrat out of California, said on Wednesday that President Donald Trump and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, Republican out of Kentucky, may have admitted that they cannot handle the job by blaming impeachment for the federal government's slow reaction to the COVID-19. She said, and I quote, "I think that an administration that perhaps the president and the majority leader cannot handle the job," Pelosi told CNN's Anderson Cooper. "We have a life and death situation in our country, and they should not try to hide behind an excuse for why they did not take action." Former President Barack Obama on Tuesday called out President Donald Trump's haphazard handling of the coronavirus pandemic, urging voters to demand better from our government. "We've seen all too terrible the consequences of those who deny warnings of the pandemic," Obama tweeted. "We cannot afford any more consequences of climate denial. All of us, especially young people, have to demand better from our government at every level and vote this fall," he added. Obama, who has rarely attacked Trump since leaving office in 2016, did not mention the U.S. leader by name in his tweet. Trump, who has been fiercely criticized for downplaying the threat of the virus for weeks while his administration really did nothing. He previously called climate change a hoax, and his administration has pressured an anti-environment agenda. Trump has also sought to blame Obama for his own government's botching response to the public health crisis that has sickened more than 188,000 people in the U.S. and killed upwards to about 4,000. The U.S. now has more confirmed coronavirus cases than any other country in the world. The leaders of the Congressional Black, Asian, and Hispanic caucuses gathered on Monday to condemn the racism that Asian American communities are confronting during this COVID-19 pandemic. The chairs of all three caucuses, as well as the leaders of the full Democratic caucus, called for unity at a viral news conference against increasing attacks against Asian Americans in association with the coronavirus. Over 100 hate incidences a day have been directed towards those in the community, according to data from the three hate indicted reporting sites. At least 1,000 hate incidences have been reported since the beginning of the pandemic across the online reporting forum Stop Hate, a separate site led by OCA, the Asian Pacific America Associates, and the third, spearheaded by the Asian American Advances Justice. Leaders also took a stand against the rhetoric that promoted the racist association between the disease and the location and the ethnicity, including the terms like the Chinese virus, the Wuhan virus, saying that it could cause people to misdirect their anger and put Asian Americans in harm's way. Milwaukee is the most segregated city in the United States and consistently ranked as the worst for African Americans. The narrative that the health officials have provided to the public is based on the notion that the coronavirus does not discriminate against its victims, infecting their respiratory systems at large with a reckless abandon that only seems to be getting more random. But in Milwaukee, a city that is also the most segregated in the United States, the first 8 people to die from complications of the COVID-19 have been African Americans, further shattering the misguided misconception that Black people cannot contract the coronavirus. The Associated Press reported that the state claimed 13 people have died, but the local health department confirmed 15 dying from the coronavirus. The reason for the racial disparity in the coronavirus death in Wisconsin and especially in Milwaukee, also was not clear, but there were suspicions that not just the aforementioned of segregation, but the lack of the ready access to resources necessary during a global pandemic, the likes of which no one alive has ever experienced. According to the most recent census statistics, 27% of Milwaukee County, which is 946,000 persons population, was made up of black people. In Wisconsin, home to 5.8 million people, black people account for just 7% of the state's residents. A full day before President Donald Trump declared the coronavirus outbreak a national emergency, the mayor of Flint, Michigan, declared a state of emergency. Mayor Sheldon Neely could see what was coming. The community that has been living in crisis since the city started taking water from the Flint River back in 2014, flowing it through corrosive pipes and into homes for drinking, even though it was tainted and lead-ridden. With the coronavirus pandemic sweeping across the country, the newly elected mayor knew that it would only be a matter of time before Flint was dealing with an added health crisis. He would be proactive rather than reactive. He decided for the majority African American community. A week before declaring a state of emergency on March 12th, the mayor put forth a new 14-day quarantine policy for those returning from travel. The day after the declaration, he limited public gatherings to 30 people. 4 days later, he shut down City Hall. Before the week was over, he issued a stay-at-home order. As of March 27th, more than 90 people have tested positive in the Guinness County, where Flint is, according to the state's count, and a woman in a homeless shelter in the city has tested positive for the virus. The mayor's swift action was necessary in a community as vulnerable as Flint. 40% of its 95,000 residents live below the poverty line, and nearly 2/3 of its children living in poverty, deepening the void between residents and access to regular health care, food, and clean drinking water. So while the coronavirus fears sweep the nation, unlike Americans who have the time and the resources to stockpile toilet paper, Clorox wipes, and pasta, residents in Flint are already lagging. Once again, thank you for watching CCN Midday News. Hope you enjoyed. Please like, share, and subscribe. Also hit that notification button so you will never miss another news update. Have a great day. Peace.